microaggressions, because I experienced microaggressions when I called the police. So I did call, I said I wasn't going to, but I said I got triggered and I was like, what else can I do? But there are other things I can do. And I got the exact result that I thought that I would get. I called, hi, this is my friend Maria Willoughby. I'm at my address and I was wondering if I could get your help on a situation. I have a situation where, um, the people that live next door, they're having some type of function. I don't know if it's related to their job at work, but I think they're just selling plates. And she said, selling what? And I said, plates, nothing illegal, but, their guests are parking in front of my house sporadically for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And I would appreciate that not happening. I've spoken to them directly. Um, in regards to it, I spoke to the owner. I've asked the guests, and whenever I ask a guest, they don't have any problem. They nicely move for the most part. But then the owner gets involved. And so I asked the owner, because I saw that it seemed like he didn't appreciate that. So I asked the owner, and, he's not really taking it seriously. There's still people parking in front of my house sporadically. And then she says, what's your name again? So I gave her my first name. I gave her my full name when I first called in. This is what I call the microaggressions. It's like you in circles and just keeping you on the phone. She says, what's your phone number? And I said, ma'am, I gave you my full name and my phone number at the beginning of this call. And I told you the situation. If you could, if there's nothing that you can do about it, then, that's fine, but, she was like, oh, if you don't want them parking in front of your house, we can make sure they don't park in front of your house. So I said, okay, fine. She said, you don't want to have an officer come out? I said, yeah, that's fine. I'll talk to them, you know? And so I think it was just to keep me on the phone for one, two, to confirm and verify my information. And then three, the officer drove by and didn't stop. So that drains my energy too. So that drains my energy because I took my time to call them and nothing. Now, was this suspected? Yeah, this was the best case scenario. They just drove by, nothing happened, and they didn't stop or they didn't give me any service. The worst case scenario, or the scenario that's usually expected, is that yeah, they will stop, but they'll cause a problem for you versus the others. You know, so so let's rewind back in history. The only other time that I called the police here was when that guy was supposed to come to fix something. And he wasn't fixing stuff. He was just sitting there talking trash. And I was like, sir, if you're not working, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. And so then he just wanted to argue. I said, sir, I have to ask you to leave. And so I said, if you don't leave, I'll have to take your items to the street. And that's it. And he wouldn't leave. And then, so I did take his items to the street. He called the police and lied and said I threw them out. Well, I called the police too, just to say, hey, I'm asking this guy to leave. I'm placing his stuff out on the street. And so he called them, and then he got loud and was like, she threw my stuff in the street. No, I didn't. I know it's not the way that I behave. And instead of the police coming to address my concern, they asked me for my first name and my last name. And I was like, why is that needed? This person's on my property. I asked them to leave and they're gone now. All I would like for you to do is reiterate that to them, that when somebody asks you to leave, not for them not to come back here again, and that didn't happen. So worthless. So anyways, I'm going to post to keep my crown. And I have other instances to share, but not necessarily of late, but things that really could lead to a legal situation, but police are allowed to lie. That includes the administrative staff. Now, the administrative staff, again, they're just doing whatever they're told to do, just like any job. So that's sad. And the thing about calling the police, if you listen to how 911 calls are handled when there's somebody shot or dying, that's kind of what you can expect, So I'm going to keep a pleasant attitude. I have it on camera, but I'll turn and check the signs every now and then. When I see somebody come, if you're parking in my yard, you're my friend. I'm going to treat it like that. I'm going to say, hey, how are you doing? I'm so glad that you came to visit these people over here, but I would really prefer that you not park in my yard. And I'll do that each and every time. I don't want to be the greeting staff. And then the girl that's the side person there, you can hear her cackling in the background. And see, this is normally where I'm scared to say anything, but you can hear her cackling in the background. And then there was a lady that was nice, so you can see she looks disappointed. She looks kind of disappointed because you know, she doesn't. She's a nice person. She doesn't appreciate me being treated that way, you know. But here, this is the girl in the blue, in the blue. This woman just really, and I don't think, and I think she's the kind of person that, um, it's, you know, she doesn't necessarily have to be nasty, but the thing is, you know how you have yes people, like that's her job. You know, she's getting paid. She has a little smock on and everything. She's getting paid. And whatever it is, and I'm sure you've been in places at work that are like that, whatever it is that that person that's the quote unquote boss says, she's going to go, and she's going to go over and beyond, you know? And so that's what it is. So, you know, her personality is whatever's going to get her paid, you know? So that's it. But anyways, don't forget your crown. I'm going back to my music, and watch the police show up when I'm absolutely least expecting them, right? They'll just pop up when I'm least expecting them. But I have to make sure that I develop a procedure for myself. If I'm out here and they pop up 3 hours later, 4 hours later, you know, they did drive past, so they know. So if anything, the person that drove past probably got it dispatched and was like, okay, he's just going to check him out and size him up and decide which way he's going to go, you know, where he's going to put the pressure, you know. And then 3 or 4 hours later, somebody else will show up and cause an issue, you know, for me. But it's okay. Gotta move on.